Alright guys, so we're going to hop into this video where I show you our agency system to scrape through all of an Instagram's users' comments from their post URLs. This is a continuation from the last video, so let's hop right into it. To the episode. So this is going to be automation number 4, Instagram scrape comments of our Instagram automation Automa Bible. So essentially what this automation does is, from the last automation where from a specific user that we found, we've already scraped all of their post URLs, which will be populated in this column here. But next we're going to be, from those post URLs, scraping all of the users' comments into this column over here. So if you haven't, if this is the first time you're seeing this series, I recommend you going back to the further episodes beforehand so you can get all of the templates will be linked in this, and I will walk you through it. But for this automation, you do need to have the scrape posts and get post URLs set up already. So if you haven't done that, go do it and then come back. If you have done that, perfect. So we've already got this Airtable set up, and what we want to do is go over to the user post URLs, and we want to make sure that there's some set up as to do, okay? And then we want to download this automation. The Airtable's link here, anyone can access it, and we're just going to download this JSON file, and then we're going to go open up our Automa dashboard. Yep, thank you. God damn, 16 gigabyte RAM MacBook running like a piece of shit. That's how you know you got a bunch of automations running. So what we want to do is SISO IG comments save to leads. This be the one. Okay, open it up. And it's because I've already downloaded it, but you guys know how to import your own file. So I am going to be walking through with you guys how to actually change out the data. So, okay, so you know the drill. We need to go over to the insert data, and we want to change out these data endpoints. I'm going to keep the API Airtable key the same, because this is already set up, but I'll show you how to get these data points. So we want to go over to Developers Hub. Get up our trusty Developers Hub. I wish there was a shortcut where you just clicked it and it went straight to that exact Airtable's Developer Hub. That would make shit so much easier than going through all of this on and on. Like, I gotta find it and select it. Oh, fuck me, there's like... Do you see what I mean? There's like 3 different ones it could be. Right, it's this bottom one I just checked from here. Make sure you're renaming all of them, and if you get a duplicate Airtable, just make sure there's no duplicate names in it. It's gonna save you a lot of time and effort. Okay, so we want to find the columns which we need to access. So for this automation, we need to access the filter username, and that would be the filter username on the posts. So post URLs, and we want to go to list records, go to API URL encoder, and then just get the URL which pops up here. And we're just going to change that over. Lovely stuff. Okay. Put data 1, so the data 1 is going to be the update and insert records from here, and copy that over. We're going to put that in the put data 1, and then put data 2 is just going to be comments from posts. This is where we're actually going to be inputting the data. We're just going to grab that link and slap it over here. And actually, I do believe the API key has changed for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go make a new API key. So I'll walk you guys through how to do that as well. Probably for the gazillionth time in this series. And we got more times to go, because after this Instagram series, I'm going to make a whole series on LinkedIn, and then I'm going to make a series on Discord, and then I'm going to make a series on basically every social media platform that we use within our agency. So let's create a new token. We're going to call it YouTube T. See, it shouldn't be a different Airtable key though. I guess we'll find out when I copy and paste it in. Add base, go right to the bottom. This is the one. Make sure all the scopes are selected and the right base is selected. Let us see. Alright, is it? Hey, it is a different one. You see what I'm saying? This wouldn't work. This would have fucked up. Okay, so now all of the data is populated. Let's save our automation and give it a run and see what happens. Wait, yep, it's going to make a new tab. So let's click run. You can see that the run sets up here. Just open the page. It's gone to our post. Does this user not actually have their comments available? Ah, it does. Interesting. It was just taking a second to load there, but as you can see, interesting. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a test run of how the automation actually works. It's going to be under SISO IG. So it's going to open up a new Instagram page. Okay, so now we're going to go over a demo on how this automation actually functions. So go over to our Automa tab, save IG comments to leads, and it's going to open up the Instagram tab. It's going to open up the post, and then what it's going to start doing is scrolling through the comments and scraping all of those, what the comment actually is and what the username is. And it's just going to continuously keep running through that till all the comments are done. I think when I walk through the automation, I'll show you where it's pre-selected, but it's pre-selected to do 100 scrolls. So you can change this depending on how many comments you know the user's going to have. If they're a large user, then they're most likely going to have over 1,000 comments. If they're a smaller user with only 50 to 100 comments, you would just change this functionality on the automation. So, perfect. Right, so as you can see, the data was being populated on this this Airtable over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up the automation. So we want to make sure we have Automa downloaded, go over to the dashboard, and what we want to do is we go to the Notion. This Google Drive link, which we've linked in here, we just want to download it. Download it here, and then go to import workflow, and then what's going to happen is this workflow is going to be imported in, and you'll end up getting something like this. This will be the automation which shows up. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to input all the data points so it's actually ready for you to set up and run on your own Airtable. So the only data points which we'll have to insert are these 4 data points here: the filter username, put data 1, put data 2, and the Airtable key. And I just realized I've been showing my Airtable key for like all of the videos. So if you guys want to come in and steal my data, go ahead. Oh fuck, it's pretty not good actually. Yeah, you guys can do that. Look, first person to steal all my data, I'll make whatever automation they want. Whatever. Right, so let's get back to how to actually set this up. So we want to go over to our Airtable over here, and we want to get our API key, and we also want to get the other direct URL points, which we put in the other 3 sections. So I probably walked through getting an API key about a gazillion times, but we'll half do it again. We'll just go create new token, name the token, add all of these scopes, and then connect it to the base which you're working with. And once you've done that, you'll have your API key. You just want to go over to insert data and put that in the API key part here. Then we want to go over to developer docs and open up the web API page. And API developers, if you're watching this, please just make it fucking simpler where I can click one button and go right directly to the API reference for the base I need, because this is so long, man. Okay, perfect. We're on the application table. And the data points which we would want to access for this is post URLs and comments from post table. So let's click post URLs. The first thing we're going to want to do is we want to go to list records, API URL encoder, and we want to get this URL over here. Put the URL in the filter username. And then once we've gotten that, go back onto the API key and we're going to go to update insert records of the same table and get this URL. Put that there. And then next is going to the comments from post table, go to update insert records and get this link here. And now that should be set up. So now that's everything set up with the Airtable. I'm just going to briefly walk you through to show you how it works. Okay, so this filter button, what it's going to do is it's going to go on the post URLs Airtable page. Let's get it up. And essentially any URLs which are there scheduled as to do, it's going to run. If there's no to do scheduled, then nothing's going to run. And you're going to need to add some URLs or set them as to do. So we go here, post URLs. And you can see here on the status section, they say in progress. But what we would actually want to do to make sure that they run is set them, a few of them, as to do. It will only work if they're set as to do. That's on the filter function here. Then we're going to get the username post URL from that data point here. We're going to get this data here. And then it's going to mark it as in progress. Next, it's going to go up to a new tab. It's going to, this is just, don't worry about this data. It's going to essentially run till get hidden comments is the button selected. So then once you hit the click hidden comments, it's going to show the rest of the comments which aren't normally available. And then it iterates through them, getting the username, getting the comments. And then this is just some functionality, make sure it iterates through all of them. Once it's done, it's going to add that data back to the comments from post section. It's going to put that here. It's going to repeat it 10 times before what it does is it does the scroll element. And then it scrolls and it's going to go and do it another 10 times. And here you can see that the scroll element has been set to 100. So it's going to scroll 100 times after scraping 1,000 comments. So if your user you're trying to scrape has less comments than that, then obviously just change around with these functionalities. And then it's done, and then it closes the tab, and then it goes to repeat it 200 times for 200 post URLs. Now, I would like to mention that you shouldn't do it 200 times because Instagram will clock that there's something suspect due to the amount of tabs you're opening. So I would say try to stick it to opening no more than 15 tabs every single hour. So it will scrape all of the posts of about 15 posts an hour. So if you've got around 1,000 comments, you're looking at scraping around 15,000 an hour, which isn't that bad at all. So yeah. Alright, so that's this video. I do want to touch on the fact that why we're not going to be doing the next video. So the next video was going to be the scrape like from all of the posts. And the reason we're not going ahead with that is because some of the CSS functionality, which was previously working, Instagram's patched it. So essentially the way all of these automations work is they grab certain CSS selectors and then it'll grab the data from those selectors. As you can see here, it's quite simple where the variable n will just increase by 1 for each comment that it's trying to scrape. So each time it scrapes one, we increase the variable by one, and then now it's on to the next comment. With the likes, it wasn't working in that sense anymore, where I couldn't actually access any of the CSS boxes. So I couldn't get the data. No, I could get the data, but I couldn't scroll. That was the problem. So you would only be able to get 7 to 8 likes per post, which at that point I didn't really think there was much point in. But don't worry, because if this is an essential part of your business, the APIify video coming out later is going to help you solve that. It's going to do it infinitely times cheaper and infinitely quicker than this current system we would have had set up. So yeah. Okay, well, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any points or questions that you want to ask me directly, you can always go find my LinkedIn's in my channel bio, or hit up my agency Instagram at SISO Agency. Or if you just want to suggest another cool automation to make, leave a comment of something interesting and we'll try and get around to making it. So, thank you.